And somehow still they were like, Roman, what's your point? I'm like, well, what the fuck? I'm the one that started talking first. Why do I have to have a point? Like, am I responsible for that in the conversation? Is that part of it? So then I looked it up and then I just decided to teach the entire class of how to have a correct conversation. So I taught that and I really learned a lot.
You taught a class on having a correct conversation?
Yeah, that's what I do. I teach skills training.
That is outstanding.
It's really fun.
So what are the core principles of a correct conversation?
Oh, boy. I mean, I don't know about the core principles. I like that. So we got Luke over here real quick. Let's do this really fast before we start talking about this anymore. I'm going to do a double camera concept. I'm just going to swing my camera over and point it at Luke.
Hey, here I am.
Yeah, man. So what's really weird is that we kind of set it up so we can see what's going on over here.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But you can't see that. Hey, that's good, Nick. Just set it up and I can move to it. I'll be like, I could just move like, is that the right way? Yeah, that's the right way.
Well, I'd imagine, like with anything, there has to be a beginning, a middle, and an end. But I believe strongly, in general, structure supports successful spontaneity, right? So, like, if you want to successfully be in the flow and reacting, embodying the moment, and kind of, navigating the current of life in the moment, like that.
Right.
Right?
In a conversation, right?
Yeah, in a conversation, there has to be structure, or just in life in general. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, no matter what you're doing.
So I can tell you the first step to having a correct conversation from the Boys Town curriculum is going to say, look the person in the face. So I'd say 95% of all the skills I teach, the first step is look the person in the face. And strangely, we talk about it every time. Like it's new, And it's crazy. Like, it's not crazy, but it's like, it says a lot. I kind of am convinced we only think about like 3 or 4 things total. You know what I mean? And like, and so I kind of go through this like little game I play with like guessing, is there only 3 or 4 things in life? And then I try that. And usually I can make it through the whole day.
3 or 4 things.
Yeah, like, and they're not all the same all the time, but there's not very many things, and you can kind of repeat them, and they seem to work. They interchange for like a million other, like yes is one. So you could just say yes. Yeah, exactly.
So, you can learn to discern the patterns.
Yeah.
You pick up on these 3 to 4 things, and then you can, at first you understand them, and then you got to integrate it. You know
Right.
what I mean? And once you begin to integrate it, then you begin to, experience it and adjust, because life is always changing.
Right.
So everything's emotional all the time.
Right.
Therefore, we cannot comprehend life from a fixed point of view. It's just not possible.
No.
This is some seriously analytical shit.
Yeah, it's got heavy quick, right?
I have a fucking question, so I can like keep up with what you guys are saying.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean correct conversation?
Oh, see, there you go. Okay, so that's the interesting part. The premise of it is that we're in a treatment center, and that there's already been mistakes made. So there's a pre-assumption to the entire concept that you wouldn't actually have in just general conversation. So there's a certain aspect to, I think, perspective has got to be acknowledged before you can start to teach. Like, you have to create who am I teaching, and what am I trying to get from it? And yeah, exactly. And so that's a really important part. And you can't teach how to have a conversation to very many people if they're not adjudicated. It means they've been in trouble. They've been through the judicial system. So, like, I'm just saying people have to be forced to do it. So it's a rehab thing. It's a treatment center thing. Right. Nobody wants to even assume for a second that they don't.
Okay,
No.
congratulations.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. If that makes sense, I mean, do you know what I mean?
It is, because it begs the question. I mean, that's a pretty strong adjective, correct. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's horrible.
Not everybody gets to be correct.
It sounded very precise.
Oh, it is. It's immeasurable. So that's
It's
right.
It's perhaps even intentionally provoking.
It is.
Right?
It's absolutely. It's the most.
Intentionally.
Well, so here it is. It's the least. Let's say it's the most therapeutic language. That's the most assertive. I mean, because you use words like assertive communication, and that is really kind of uncomfortable when people aren't ready to be in that situation. So, like, you are teaching things when you're teaching in like like a behavior, like a discipline, not Like it's not arbitrary. It's not. So again, you don't want to put like no filter through it. No filters, like just you're born. You know, like let's just say, like you didn't ask to be born. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of non-biased starters if you want to go no filter. But I put a bunch of filters on this situation. You know what I mean? And so now we're back to like a really direct path. We're just trying to keep people alive and out of prison. So that's the parameters. You know what I mean? Like that's not what we're all talking about for each other.
Right.
So we're talking about that for some of us. That's really the way we need to be talking about it. That's all.
Okay.
But it makes me think about my most vulnerable sections of myself usually need to be treated like what I work with a lot.
I was gonna say, do you lose sleep over this shit ever? You go
I've
in the middle of the night?
I've actually never not had a nap in a day in my life. I always take a nap. I usually sleep like halftime of the Blazers, about 8:30 to 9, maybe, something like that, p.m.
Like the crack of fucking dawn.
And then I get up again, and I usually hang out for a while with my girlfriend. She gets off work, and then I go to bed, and I get up about 5:30. Yeah.
I had a fucking nightmare last night that I was with my wife. Just shifting gears really quick here, just 'cause on my mind. I mean, I jumped out of bed, bro. I jumped out of bed. I started fucking running around the house, really excited because it was just so intense, so vivid. Felt like it really happened. I also watched a horror movie before bed, totally unrelated. So, I was stealing drumsticks.
Nice.
And my wife and me were doing it shoplifting, and we were doing it intentionally because we have money. And that's why I was like, what are we doing? We left, and when we walked through the door, it was like one of those, like reader things, and all the lights started flashing and shit.
Oh, man.
And my wife turns around and looks at me, and she said, "This is fun." What? Dude, so we ran to go to our van. That was our getaway car, and it had been stolen. It was gone. And I looked at my wife, and then I woke up, and like that was my stressful dream.
Wow. Heart pumping, just like, what are you gonna do?
Dude, I smoked a Gonzo bowl. I actually chugged a beer.
Oh, hey Nick.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Lennon, one of our favorite drummers from his badass band,
Fuck yeah, Lennon.
is on there right now. He's talking about that your mic's not on.
It's not on
Check it.
every single time, dude.
See, look at the board though. See,
Well, that's
it's.
good looking out. I mean,
But here's the thing. He said he can hear you, but he can just hear you through the other mic. So
What?
your mic's just not. Your mic 1, right? Or I'm mic 1 or mic 2. Like something's not right.
Your mic.
So maybe are you not plugged into the same one, or
I am mic 1.
it's just because it got replugged in? I think that's okay though, because he said he could.
I don't think
He says right there he can hear you.
my audio works.
He can hear you though, on his mic though, right? So it's just not very good, but you know. Hey, so we're on episode 18 of all time, and to be honest with you, we're all like, I don't know, how old are you, Luke? I'm 45. You're 40? 41. Okay, so you guys are the same age then. You guys are both 41, and I only bring that up because I just didn't want to call us all 40 if we weren't actually all 40, but I thought we were pretty close to that. But anyway, so
No, dude,
the fact that
mic too, bro.
the fact that we're streaming.
this is high tech.
I wonder why you can't hear you though. That doesn't make sense, right?
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I can say I'm in my 40s. Right? Yeah.
So my point
we're
with
related, you and Amy are the same
right,
age.
and so my point though of that is that we're actually streaming at all at our age, and like I don't know about you guys, like I don't know how much time you spend on Twitch, but there's not a whole lot of shit going on for guys that are like talking about what we think about or what we're talking about or anything to do with what we're talking about.
Target audience.
Whether we're talking shit or talking serious stuff, either way, you know, it's not like the competition is the repetition. It's not the people. It's really not. It's just doing it. Like the more times we hit go live, just that's it. That's the what are you doing? Going live. Like it doesn't really fucking
What
matter.
am I doing? Sound checking every fucking week, man. Seriously, that's what I'm
Nick,
doing. That's
Nick,
my
but
life.
you know what I got? Like 5
Five different
I got
microphones.
hold on, I got
20 different shit.
I got-
fucking podcasts.
I got 5. Hold on, I got 5 fucking comments about how fucking hilarious your mic not working and how funny you were. when that happened.
No,
last
no,
time.
no. You're not gonna typecast me as some fucking dumb fuck whose mic doesn't work.
No, that's not. They're not laughing at
What
your
the fuck I'm
mic.
doing, man?
They're laughing at your reaction, dude. People aren't used to anger. They haven't seen it. It's been weaned out of society for the most part. Like when somebody even raises their voice.
Play?
I say just let it out, man.
Here, mine's playing right
I
now,
just
live. Here, you want to
wanna see
listen?
one of
Here,
these
listen.
and have it
Listen.
work.
Here.
I've been there,
Okay,
man.
here you go.
I was
Yours is playing, mine's not.
Yeah,
I
you
was
talk,
just
you talk.
editing a video and it died. Like total computer lockup, freeze up.
Oh, you don't want
lost
to plug
hours
that in.
worth of
Let's not
work.
plug it in. Just listen.
So you can hear what's like. Oh.
You are. Is it Luke?
I don't
hang on
fucking
really
care
quick.
anymore.
We can't tell.
Okay.
Is that your mic
Fuck
now,
the
or is that?
goddamn fucking world. Fuck it, its stupid butt.
Hold on. Let me see if that comes in.
Cause motherfucker, I can hear this shit.
Yeah, I can hear loud and clear.
Motherfucker. It's like super just piercing, annoying. Just
I can
like
hear
my
you.
voice always is.
I can hear you.
You know what? Have you ever considered that he might just be fucking with you?
And maybe Luke's is not on. Maybe he's talking about his.
He could be. I
I
don't
can
know.
hear his, man. Everything's cranked up.
Watch. Okay, so one at a time. Let's talk and let's look at the audio input board. Okay. Watch me talk. Audio input board goes up. See?
I talk. Audio.
It seems like his is lesser though.
Lesser.
Yours is.
Lesser.
Yours should be like popping. His should be popping. It's not.
Just
Who,
be.
his?
Yeah, his should be popping when he
That's
speaks.
that's about how it should be.
I don't know. Seems
like his is lesser though.
it's a strange.
Man, we got a lot of sound in the room with these other mics, right? Like it's louder in here than it normally is. Because did you hear me just talk on that thing? That was a couple seconds ago, and like, I think there's just a lot of weird sound going on. I'm still the only one that has this really crazy, sexy mic. You guys can hear each other, right? That means it's coming through. We're good. Let's not talk about it anymore.
That was my night.
Let's talk about something else.
Flicking drumsticks, the alarm going off, and my wife being excited about it, and me not knowing why.
So you didn't know why your wife was excited about being excited about being a criminal all of a sudden?
Weird. Like we both knew we had money to pay for this stuff. It was like she was doing it for a cheap thrill.
So like that's not like a Winona Ryder. Isn't that known as a Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
I believe. I mean, just saying. Does your wife like Winona Ryder?
See my wife steal anything.
Oh,
But she was all. She was getting it.
it's maybe we should be playing Jane's Addiction more often.
So what was the thriller about?
I watched some dumb horror movie. I don't watch movies
Yeah. Okay.
ever.
So like the Kardashians?
He knows this. Yeah, I usually my wife watches movies, and I usually just watch like YouTube videos of fish or fucking rock bands or something. So last night I wanted to watch a horror movie just to piss my wife off because she hates horror movies, and I like watching her get mad.
That's a good strategy.
She sat through the whole thing, and I think she handled it better than me. And then but seriously, she was asleep. She fell asleep for the last part of the movie. And she's like, "Oh, is it over?" I'm like, "Yeah, oh man, whoa."
That is a harsh assault on the psyche, bro. I mean, just to be able to take a hit like that of watching, I mean, the adrenaline. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's totally trippy because I don't watch a lot of movies either, and like I'm sensitive to the lights and stuff, and I don't watch horror movies, dude, because it's like that's overboard for me. I don't enjoy it. But
You're my age. Did you back in the day?
no,
You didn't
What?
watch the horror movies?
like
back in the
Freddy
day?
Krueger, right?
My favorite.
Okay, so I was, walking in the living room. There was Freddy Krueger, and I was like, dude, this guy's just nasty looking. Looks like his face got all burnt off or something. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm out.
Tough
You know what I
luck.
mean? Yeah. I just that's weird. I'm out. I'm gonna go outside and go kick pine cones or something. You know what I mean? Like
The
I'll go
ori-
climb trees.
So I actually just was flooded with it at my age, just because of the culture I was in. Obviously, another conversation, but about Krueger, the original movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, is a beautiful masterpiece of horror.
Okay. See?
I'm serious. The idea that this dude can only fuck you up in your dreams, that's fucked up, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Isn't it? Isn't he the ultimate fucking boogeyman?
Oh yeah, I mean, like when I first saw that, I was like, "Dang, dude!" Like they really captured. Well, so it's like it's like any story, right?
Planting a subconscious
It's like
virus.
well, it's like any. Well, it's kind of like any story that you
Now when you dream about it, you're going to be thinking that he's coming for you.
well that's what I was saying. They did like the thing inside the thing. So you like it's a smart way to pull you into the movie, right? Because now you've got to go to sleep. But I think what they really did though too well is that they implanted the idea that like really anything could happen. And so like when you really I mean you know what I'm saying? Like I mean when you think about all those dreams, so if you watch every one, I've seen every one of them. If you watch every single one of those dreams, they are really creative first off. Like, right? I mean, they go everywhere. They go like time, space. Yeah, they shrink, they get big, they go I mean, they fuck you name it, man. It's like so broad. Hold on, I know, but I'm saying is it's so what I'm saying is it's not just like hey, the guy saw ghosts, but they're fake, and then she sees them in his head because it's actually the real world. This isn't the real world. This is dream world, and everyone knows their dreams go anywhere, and that's more scary. Oh, bro.
That village, why ain't they killing us? You know, because we're in the spirit world,
Yeah.
asshole. They can't see us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Estevez, Lou Diamond Phillips,
Oh,
Keith Sutherland,
Yeah.
Ham Hock McGillicuddy, and Flash Sack McNasty.
Oh, biggest nuts in the West, right?
So I want to. Is it working now? Is it audio?
Yeah, it's working as good as it's gonna get because we could hear each other, right? Can't we? Here, hold on. Everybody's silent. Ready?
I
Listen.
think what Lennon's saying is, as like last time, the mics aren't picking up. These are, so these aren't even on. So the audio source is just our cameras.
No, those aren't on though. Those are off right now. They're muted.
And that one's pointed towards you guys, and so that would mean Roman was the furthest away from
That might.
I think I got the same one. And I had a problem with it cutting out, like popping out, and I had to turn it down on my interface on the yada yada who did he do. I am not a sound engineer.
Let me see.
I've learned a lot. You guys have
We kind of have it. Probably the part that pisses you off the most about this whole thing is how we kind of have everything that like exists, to some degree. So you kind of run out of things eventually. Okay, so the low cuts were on. That might have been something.
So you're still streaming live though, right? Like it's still going.
Yeah, we let that shit go all the time.
Letting it go. Yeah. So these guys are talking about Freddy Krueger.
I kind of learned from my girlfriend. She just she streams for years and years and years, and like she just says like basically like content's content, and that's really all that matters. And like so, if you just keep making stuff and you just keep like you never really want to turn it off, you just keep going, and you just get like all your mistakes and all your fuck ups and all your irritation and everything else.
You know what I call those kind of clips? Vintage. I say that's vintage Luke.
Right.
Look back at clips where I'm just absolutely terrible.
It's only your mic that's on.
I don't.
Listen to it. Both of us are just picking up the room mic.
Let me all I can do is just restart it,